Good morning, good afternoon, bonsoir, bonjour à tous. Welcome to this week's edition of the Wada Forum. We are excited to be back. We took a little break for August um, and are looking forward to being back all together today. We have a light audience, but this will obviously be recorded and available. So those of you watching this in delay, thank you for joining. We're going to kick off with our agenda for today. Since it's been a little while since we all saw each other, I thought we would do a little bit of an update from each of us. You can hear about what we've been up to. And then we'll lead into some of the exciting goings on in our community. So some of you may or may not have been at yesterday's Catalyst Town Hall. Fund 13 launch is coming up. That's exciting. And some other updates that we have for you regarding DREP, etc. And then in particular, we have three presenters from our community that are leading DREPs. So we'll have a spot for each of us to discuss that briefly on the call today. And then, of course, open for feedback and Q&A. So I'll kick us off with the opening and statement of purpose. I don't know if I should take over all of this, but for today, I'll read them both. Our mission is to elevate underrepresented groups through the application of technology and invest in a more equitable future. Notre déclaration de but. Notre mission, promouvoir les groupes sous-représentés grâce à l'application de la technologie et investir dans un avenir plus équitable. So it's always good having that reminder of why we're here today. So I know some of us have some very exciting updates. I will admit my August was busy more on the personal side. I was taking a little bit of family time to take care of my new baby that I'm very, blessed to have. But I'll pass it over to some of our other team members who have some kind of more interesting work-related busy times in August. Although it was quiet, there was a lot of work going on in the background. So I'll pass over to, Mercy, go ahead.
I can take it. I think that the most exciting thing that happened was actually Megan having a baby. So I do not accept that, others have something more interesting. We are very, very blessed to have an additional Wada baby into the Wada family. And I think it's the highlight of our time away. On my side, very exciting stuff. Megan is right. There was still a lot of work that went on in the background quietly. For instance, I was in Nevada, Las Vegas for the Rare Evo conference. There's a picture down there, as you can see, with the Catalyst team. On my right of the picture, that's Mike McNulty, and then there is Danny, Reba, and Chris. It was Rare Evo was really nice in terms of trying to catch up with all the projects that are ongoing. I had a chance to meet with the Cardano Foundation regarding our plan to bring Cardano Summit 2025 to Africa. There's still a lot of debate and discussion around that in terms of where the foundation is at this point. But it was good insights. Also had a chance to participate in a constitutional workshop during Rare Evo, and that was really good for me because immediately after Rare Evo, I had the opportunity to travel to Accra, and I participated in the constitutional workshop in Accra. It was very fun, very exciting. It was nice to meet so many people in person. There were also a lot of other meetings, things that are brewing in the background and at the right time. it will, it will sort of be made known, and we will ask for your participation. Otherwise, yeah, a lot of, August stuff as well. Nice weather, moving between cities and so on. But yeah, it was great having that break. I think, it helped for me. It helped me to get a bit of my energy back. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of the year. Thanks. That's it from me.
Awesome. Thanks, Mercy. And I appreciate the shout out. Looks like we have some new people joining us. Welcome. Right now, we're going over just a little bit of a check-in of what some of our team members were up to over the break. Samuel, did you have anything you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, just a few things I want to mention. August, yes, Wada Forum was on break, but we kept working internally. One of the key things was working on the impact report that Wada wants to release, talking about our performances, what we have done as an entity since inception. We were very busy working on that, and we are still working on it actually. It is a comprehensive report that is going to be released in the next few weeks towards the end of the year. So please watch out for that. So when it's ready, we'll make it available. And on the other side, we have been working to expand our frontiers in Africa, taking technology to every nook and cranny of the continent. So we have been working to onboard new hubs onto our licensing projects. We have been good at that. Very soon, we'll announce to you, unleash some of these hubs that are coming to join our fold. And also, we have also been working with a lady I met at the Cardano constitutional thing in Berlin, and there's an interesting project he wants to involve Wada Hubs. Plans are far advanced. Very soon, maybe next week, we'll come with full information on that as well. So these and a number of things, I don't want to waste more time talking about them, but these are 3 key things we have been working in August, and yeah. That's it again.
All right, thanks, Samuel. Is there anyone else who wanted to share a brief update? I don't want to put anyone on the spot.
Maybe we can welcome the guys that have just joined. I've seen John T join. It's been a long time. Maybe you want to say hello and where has he been and what he's been up to.
Yeah, and we can,
Seidu is also there, and
I see Laurentine just
Laurentine is also joined. If they want to share anything, they can kindly unmute and share with us, then we'll continue.
Thank you very much. If you can hear me, on my side, mostly working again on Equival, and I thank for the participants. We sent a survey both for the Goma and Ghana hubs. We got responses. We processed the information for the Goma and sent the payment for the token of appreciation. We got results for the Ghana side, and they will be also sending participants some ADA for their contribution. And overall, I would say Equival is going well. The hard fork is an opportunity for us to optimize our code. So we hope there won't be any update of the node for the next 2 years at least, because we will have been ready to launch, but with this hard fork, we had to wait and implement it because it saves quite a lot in terms of transaction fees. So that's what I've been working on, and I hope to be more available. By the end of the month, I hope to have discharged some responsibilities here, so I'll be able to attend a bit more.
All right, it's great to hear from you, Janti. Welcome back to our space. We look forward to seeing more of you, sounds like, going forwards.
Thanks.
I don't know whether I'm clear.
Yes, you are clear.
Right. All right. Thank you very much. Good evening from Ghana. And then it's nice meeting the interactive team once again. I'm Sid from Ghana, Tamale to be precise. On my end, we just hosted our the Cardano Constitutional Workshop here in Tamale on the 31st of August. It was so interactive where we have some seasoned members whom we were not seeing the ecosystem for maybe 1 or 2 reasons known to them. They show up on the constitutional workshop and participated, and we're so excited. And then we have more interaction on why they are so silent. And then some are participating only in Project Catalyst, so they never knew of more updates on the Cardano ecosystem until they saw the constitutional workshop, and then they show up for it. And then on our end here, we are also preparing small for the Cardano Summit. We have been also given the go-ahead to organize the local one here in Ghana as well. So we are preparing that one somewhere to the 6th of August. Yes, we'll be doing that alongside with our Project Catalyst funded project, which we are done with the first milestone, and we are working towards the second milestone. So it's been an engaging more tax, I think, this year. We are still hoping and following up to see how best things work. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Seydou. It's great to hear about the great work you're doing on the ground. So I think we'll move on to make sure we get through our updates. So now we have community network updates, and I'll pass this over to Samuel.
Yes, if it's about Catalyst, then I'll take over from here.
Okay.
This is just to update.
Yeah, this one's Catalyst and then Intersect.
Yeah, maybe Messi will have something to talk about on Intersect, but for Catalyst, just to come our way with the key updates, some timelines that was shared on the town hall yesterday for the benefit of those who couldn't join. As we may all be aware, Fund 13 is just around the corner. It was talked about yesterday on the town hall, as I already stated. I just want to run by everybody the key timelines, and I also share a link to it in the chat after I'm done, so that you can take note of what is coming up as far as Catalyst is concerned from now until I guess early part of next year. So we start with the general categories. The launch is actually on the 25th of September. And just a day after that, on the 26th, submissions are open. So if you are preparing to submit any proposal, you have between now and 26 to prepare, because that's when the window will open. And that will run until the 10th of October, and that's why submissions will close, and maybe a week after will be time for finalizations. That's on the 16th of October. Right after that, we zoom into the reviewer section. Reviewers are supposed to register between the 3rd of October and 20th of October. And by 24th October, community review will start. There were a lot of issues with the reviews in Fund 12. We hope that maybe in Fund 13 things will change, but we can talk about that some more in other subsequent forums. Then community reviewers' job will be done on the 21st of November, and by 28th of November to the 12th of December, that will be time for voting. Voting will go on until the 16th of December, where results will be released, and maybe from the 7th of January, those who receive funding will start going through the project's onboarding process and things like that. So that is for the general categories. For the partner categories, some of the times are very similar. As usual, the program will be launched on the 25th, and submission will open on the 26th by November 7th. That will be deadline for the submission of the partnership categories. And it will be published shortly on the 25th of November. And by 28th to the 12th of December, the same time as with the general categories, voting period will be done. And it looks like the same timelines, 16th December, voting results will be out. And also by January 7th, there will be onboarding of projects that are going to receive funding. For community reviewers, if we want to share some key information for you, as already stated, your registration will end on the 20th of October. Reviews will start from October 24 to November 7. And moderation, and this is for from October 4 to November 7, is for LVO and LV1 community reviewers. Moderation will start on the November 14th and end on November 21. And this is for those who are moderators or part of the LV2. And by 25th November, data will be released. And in January, we can smile to the bank and see what our efforts will get us. So yeah, this is by way of a few timelines that we need to share. Next week and maybe other subsequent Wada forums, we are going to strategize. Global is going to plan for how we can support anybody who intends to put proposal in Fanteting in terms of organizing the project and making it strong and helping to position ourselves very well so that most of you or most of us will receive funding, God willing, when everything is said and done. And we'll also share more on the categories and the funding cap and everything in our subsequent Wada forums. Megan, take it from
All
here.
right. Yeah. Thanks, Samuel. I know that was a lot of information. We will be sharing some of the timelines again next week.
Yeah, I'll quickly share the link to that in the chat right now. And
yeah, maybe for that from the town hall slides from yesterday.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a lot of information, but bottom line, Fund 13 is right around the corner, so we can all put our brainstorming hats back on and get back into that mindset. On the Intersect side, we're very pleased to announce, successful launches of our 2 regional hubs so far. We had the Central Africa hub that I had talked about, I think, before the break at one point. We launched that in July with the help from the Goma team, also in collaboration with the Cameroon team for some support with the online components. And then the West Africa Hub was also successfully launched last month, led by AFIA. So we're very proud of our team members on the ground, and we'll keep this space updated with any important information that we need to share with our community. Next, I think we will take a moment to showcase some different DREPs that are starting to emerge. These are the ones we know about so far. Encourage anyone here, if you are thinking of running as a DREP by yourself, or know of anyone else that may want to present to our Wada Forum, you can have them reach out to us to present. But so far, we have reached out to 3 people. So Nana Safo will be our Wada DREP. He'll be launching the Wada DREP. Myself, I'm involved in a community DREP called La Cool. And then Dan, I don't know if he's here with us today. He may present next week instead. But now I'll hand over the mic to Nana Safo to talk a little bit about the Wada DREP.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. So with Wada DREP, currently we are at the documentation stage where we are looking to put together our documents, and then from there we'll quickly register. But the registration is just at the corner. We're just going to cross the line very soon. Yeah, and we are very much excited about it because Wada has been around since Fund 3, and I believe we have done a lot of great work in terms of contributing to the growth of the ecosystem and ensuring that the ecosystem is, being kept in good shape. So based on such beliefs, we thought it is only wise to, sign up or register as a DREP and allow community members who are also interested in and share the same visions as we do, to delegate to us so that we can participate, on their behalf in terms of governance. So today I just wanted to pass through and urge everybody to get ready to delegate their stakes to, the Wada DREP, which will be launching very soon, so that together we all can, participate in the governance and then make it a success. And also, just a quick spoiler, very soon we'll be creating the team, the various team that will be necessary for handling the governance processes in the Wada DREP. So there are a few people that I'll probably be reaching out to you, and then there are some to just bring an open invitation if you're interested, and then you probably meet the criteria, then you try and then apply and join so that we can all together build and then make the ecosystem a better place for all of us. Yeah, so I think I will land it here. Thanks once again for the opportunity, and I look forward to working with a lot of you guys here. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Nana Safu. So anyone listening who wants to be involved, he's your point of contact for getting involved with that. Next, I'll talk a little bit about a DREP I'm involved with. And if you don't mind, I'll take over screen share. Are you seeing my screen? It's all good? All right, so I wanted to take a minute today to introduce this group. I think I've talked briefly about this in the past, but a project that I've been involved with over the past almost year at this point. This is a Fund 11 funded proposal to create a representation framework for Cardano governance. We put in a proposal in Fund 11 and we're funded. My motivations in this is to help establish a framework that every DREP can use, even the WADA DREP if they like it. But bottom line is that communities need some structure and organization to be able to represent themselves. It's hard for one person to just represent a community. And so together with my team, we came up with a suggested framework for this. So our Project Catalyst proposal really highlighted the fact that, the DREP is sort of a one-person role as defined in SIP 1694, but it's not really something that one individual can fulfill. And there's not yet a clear framework for how that should look. So our solution was to actually provide a suggested framework to enable exceptional representation. Here's a little overview of our vision, mission, and aim. I'm not going to read through this explicitly. You can see it on the screen for yourself. But to talk a little bit about the phrase democratic pluralism, part of the work over the past few months was actually writing a literature review document about this concept of democratic pluralism with some industry experts. And just to give kind of a summary, democratic pluralism is the concept that a healthy democracy thrives on sort of coexisting diverse groups, beliefs, interests, and each need to have the opportunity to participate in governance. So we really emphasize the importance of open dialogue, compromise, and how to represent multiple voices to ensure that no single group dominates the political process. Something, that we're really concerned about with, for example, one coin, one vote, and how that shows representation disproportionately to voices instead being focused on finances. So just to talk a little bit about how we're organized, here's a bit of a visual representation. We have the inner green circle is the DREP itself. That's the coordinating circle. I'll talk a little bit about who is in that on the next slide. But we have our organizing circle, and then we have an advising circle that's sort of for DREP policy. That's a non-voting circle. It just, right now, it's sort of those people who were part of writing the paper and some of the documentation and literature review that's going with some of the practices that we use. And then you see the other 3 domain circles, which we have set up. The initial 3 circles focusing on infrastructure, applications, and then one that's left for open. This is kind of preparing to think about what our workflow might be for governance actions that come to the DREP. They would obviously start in the coordinating circle, and then at that point could be directed to the specific subcircle for them to make decisions on. So it's not the goal of this is to not overwhelm one group with all the decisions, but to have a framework to delegate to the best people to answer certain questions. Just a little overview of how to join the circle, the different circles. We're thinking that there should really be a minimum of 3 people in each circle, and then we don't want to go over 15. So far, we have the parent circle, the coordinating circle that's defining sort of the domains for each of those, and a way for each circle to come alive and to dissolve. But in order to join, obviously, you should be within the Cardano industry. You should delegate to our DREP, and then we will have some form of proof of life to ensure we're not recruiting robots. So to look at the team so far, we have myself. I'm leading the open circle. Some of you might know Joanna Atia. She is one of the co-founders of the MENA community and is very active also in Intersect. Ray Mata, he is a stake pool operator. He leads the Grow stake pool. Some of you may have heard of him. He's leading the infrastructure circle. And then we have Kenrig Nelson. He's the founder of Fotrek. He is heading our policy circle. So that's really helping with some of the structure. And then Jose was originally with us in some of the sub-circles, but is also actively participating on the constitutional committee, and therefore we made a consensual decision to have him as a non-voting member because we felt that there was sort of a conflict of interest and a bit of double dipping with him serving both on the DREP and the CC. So that's a bit of an overview of what we look like. Here are some opportunities to join us. You can obviously delegate to us. In the meantime, while you wait for the Wada DREP to come live, it's easy to change your delegation at any time. So if you want to practice by delegating to us, maybe we'll convince you to stick around. You can follow us on social media. And if you're interested in anything I said today, there's a link here for how to actually join one of our circles. Just a form that you fill out. But of course, you can always reach out to myself, or you can reach out to us generally at the Fotrek team. I'll put our admin email in the chat. Thanks so much for letting me present this today. I don't know if Dan has joined us, but if not, I think
Hello, Megan.
Yeah.
Hello, Megan. I just want to draw your attention. All that has been said today, none has been translated in French. If you can quickly, if Dan is on the call, we can prepare why you quickly maybe go back and explain high level.
I don't see him.
Dan is not on the call now.
I will admit, I noticed.
So let's do a bit of high level French translations, and we can continue from there.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bon, bref, on est d'un peu paresseuse aujourd'hui pour traduire toute la présentation. J'ai vu ici qu'il n'y a pas... Il y a les gens qui parlent aussi bien l'anglais parmi vous. Alors, je n'ai pas trouvais nécessaire de tout traduire aujourd'hui. Mais ceci dit, c'est important de faire un petit résumé, je crois, de ce que nous avons mentionné aujourd'hui. Nous avons fait un récapitulatif de ce que nous avons fait pendant la pause du forum. Mercy et Samuel ont été très actifs en poussant Wada devant, en assistant aux événements dans le monde, par exemple. Après, on a souligné le fait que le Fonds de 13 commence bientôt. C'est vers le 25-26 de ce mois. Alors, on a encore quelques semaines, mais il faut déjà commencer à prêter les propositions. Après, nous avons signalé le lancement des DREPs. Il y a Nana Safo qui va diriger le DREP de WADA. Et je viens de présenter une DREP sur laquelle je travaille qui est supposée représenter les groupes. Et je crois que c'est très important. Le travail que nous faisons, ça peut être copié par les autres DREP, mais je vous invite de nous joindre, de nous suivre sur les médias sociaux. Et voilà. Merci beaucoup. J'espère que c'était pas trop vite et assez compréhensible. So that being said, I think I can take the screen down. And we can just open up to discussion at this point. Any feedback, questions on the DREP, or feedback on anything else that we went through today would be awesome.
I just want to clarify. So 2 things I want to clarify just for the record. The first is that when it comes to a lot of the DREPs within our network, so as we can see, Megan is a hub lead in Cameroon. She's doing a lot of work also with other organizations, and she is establishing a DREP in partnership, right? WADA Global is also trying to establish a DREP just to, accommodate some of the things that we stand for. As we heard, Dan Baruka also launched a DREP. This is just to say that within the WADA Cardano sort of Africa ecosystem, there will be a lot of these DREPs. We have already, so from a WADA global perspective, there has already been discussion started with LACO in terms of how we pull our work together a bit more, since our interests and our values are well aligned. And there will be many such discussions. So please feel free in terms of who you are delegating to, whether you are delegating to Dan Baruka or LACO or to the WADA DREP. Just figure out what best aligns very closely with what you believe, and please feel free. We are not in competition. We are very much in cooperation, and that is how we will win. The second aspect, actually, as we know, is that we have the WADA people, and then we have the WADA networks, the hubs, partners, and so on and so forth. Megan did mention that one of her team members, Jose, who I know very well, is sort of stepping back a little bit when it comes to his involvement with the LACO DREP because of his role on the Constitutional Committee. It's sort of the same for me as well. In terms of, I am also on the Constitutional Committee, so I'm really trying to maintain an arm's length when it comes to the WADA DREP. And it is easy, right? Because WADA is made up of many individuals, entities, and so on and so forth. As we all know, WADA is also a stake pool operator. Josh normally leads that work on the stake pool side. I don't have too much hands-on with that. So in that sense, from a WADA perspective, we can really maintain that separation of powers, so to speak, between Constitutional Committee, DREP, and also SPO. So I just wanted to clarify that so that we're all aware in terms of how we're doing things. As we know, whether it's WADA Global or WADA Hubs Network, it's just a vehicle. And there are many, 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 many individuals and roles within the vehicle, sort of to maintain, to bring, to onboard, entrepreneurs, developers in especially Sub-Saharan Africa to the Cardano ecosystem. So that's adding a little bit more context. Please feel free to be open. If there's anything that anyone wants to push back on or question, please feel free. I think I'll wrap it up here. Thanks everyone for your attention.
Yeah, thanks, Mercy. Just to kind of further emphasize the first point you said about us all collaborating together. Nana Safo has also been participating in the Lakul DREP as part of the Open Circle. As I mentioned, our goal with that is really about establishing a framework that we hope that people will want to copy and maybe just copy parts of it that they like. So it is definitely at this phase, especially really collaborative across all the DREPs because we're all honestly figuring out the best way to do this. And there's no, there are rules, but there are not such specific rules in place that there's a lot of ways to interpret how DREPs can and should function. So definitely encourage you to get involved everywhere and anywhere that you would like.
Megan?
Yeah.
High level summary. What Mercy said and what you have just added. French. Today I'm repping my
French. Oui, désolé. Je ne suis pas apparemment en forme aujourd'hui pour traduire. Mais bon. Voilà, Mercy était en train de souligner le fait que à cette phase, ce n'est pas... Bon, c'est important d'intégrer dans les DREP en général. Ce n'est pas une compétition, c'est plutôt une collaboration. Je soulignais le fait que Nana Safo qui va gérer le DREP de WADA, il participe aussi dans notre DREP Lakul comme membre du cercle ouvert. Comme je mentionnais, notre DREP de Lakul, c'est plutôt trouver un bon framework sur lequel les DREP peuvent baser leurs décisions, s'organiser comme groupe, etc. Alors, cette phase-ci en particulier, c'est une très importante opportunité de s'intégrer dans le processus de DREP en général. Bon, l'autre point, comme Mercy a dit, j'ai oublié. Mercy, what was your second point about?
My second point is about the separation of powers in terms of...
Sorry. Bon, son deuxième point, c'était la séparation des pouvoirs. Elle mentionnait le fait qu'elle participe aussi dans le comité de constitution. Ça, c'est une partie de pouvoir séparée de DREP. Il y a encore les stake pool operators. Alors, il faut aussi prendre... Bon, il n'y a pas de règles en place pour dire que quelqu'un qui participe ici ne peut pas aussi faire partie d'une DREP communautaire comme les nôtres, mais il faut aussi garder les yeux ouverts pour ce genre de conflits. Et nous essayons de faire nos jugements pour le faire comme il n'y a pas les règles explicitement écrites dessus. Okay, I hope I did okay at translating that.
Yeah, and
Rusty this morning.
you are doing well. You are doing so well. Thanks.
Anyways,
How can you tell, Samuel, when you don't speak French?
I can tell from the flow. If somebody is flowing, you know that they are relevant. If she was if she was doing stuff like then you know there's a problem.
But Megan, thank you. For
But there's actually someone in the chats. I think Yves Cruz who is giving a thumbs up for the French translation. So I guess everything is on point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Megan.
Darian.
Or if Laurentine is on the call, she can be a good assessor of how it's going.
No, we don't need to put me on the spot. I know.
That's okay. I'm just joking. Please go ahead.
If there are no questions, we can sort of wrap up the recording now and remove the pressure for people to talk. Thanks everyone for being part of the forum today.